Big changes ahead for students and parents in San Diego's largest school district. A new phone-free policy will soon ban cell phones during the school day for all 120,000 students across every campus. Welcome to The Four, everyone. I'm Anna Laurel.
I'm Marcella Lee. CBS 8's Kelly Hessedal joins us from the San Diego Unified School District's headquarters, where the board is meeting right now. Kelly?
That's right, and they are expected to officially adopt this new policy sometime tonight. Now, it is something the district has been working on for a long time. They got both input from students as well as parents, and ultimately decided that phones need to be turned off during instruction time and they need to be out of sight. Now, they said they're doing this to really make sure that kids are paying attention in the classroom.
We're also following a lot of the research on brain development and the way that cell phone usage interrupts our brain development. And again, we're in charge of young people, and so we want to make sure that they're the healthiest they can be. Or something like that, so they'll be.
And that was Superintendent Dr. Fabiola Bagula. Now, this new policy is in response to a new state law that requires all California districts to come up with a plan to limit the use of cell phones during school hours. San Diego Unified's policy applies to all grades from TK to 12th grade, and it takes effect August 11th, which is the first day of school. Now, the big thing to note is that it pretty much bans cell phones during the school day, and phones must be stored somewhere like a student's backpack. But there are some exceptions. Students can use their phones before first bell, after dismissal, on buses, during extracurriculars. High school kids can use them during lunch and passing periods. Students can use them in emergency situations. Students with special needs may be able to use them with approval, and kids can also use them if a teacher is using them as part of a classroom lesson. Now, everybody I talked to today agreed phones are a distraction, and limiting their usage is a good thing.
I think it's a good idea. I think that the way our society is now, everyone kind of needs a cell phone. It's our way of communicating, and if the kids can be in touch with their parents and vice versa, I think that's good. But I really do think that putting it away during the instructional time is going to only be helpful.
Phones are very much a distraction in an environment that you want to learn. Not only it affects the environment of learning, it affects people's moods, mental health.
And the district also shared with me the results of a survey from about a month ago where they asked for input from the public, and they got a lot of responses, several pages worth. The vast majority of people said yes, finally. Some wanted an even stricter policy on the books. Others were concerned about enforcement, and there were a handful who did not support this, who wrote that they do not want their child's phone taken away at all. Some said kids need them in case of an emergency. So back out here live, again, kids will be allowed to access their phones during an emergency situation. I asked the superintendent today, what does that process look like? If they don't have their phones with them, are they in their lockers? Do they have to go get them? Do they have their backpacks with them? And it still remains unclear, but she did tell me should there be an emergency situation, she hopes that they can learn from it and maybe do better the next time. Back to you guys.
Yeah, this has all been a big learning curve for years, really, to get to this point, Kelly. What about enforcement? What about consequences if a student actually breaks the rules here?
Yeah, and punishment really varies. The first time it happens, it's going to be a verbal warning, but it can escalate. If the kid continues to break the rules, a staff member can take that phone away and hold it until the end of the day. They can force the parent then to come retrieve it. They can also withhold their participation in extracurricular activities. But of course, the hope is it doesn't escalate to that level.
It'll be interesting to see what the district-wide policy is. I know that some classrooms have those shoe holders that they hang, and people put cell phones in there, but then there are concerns about people taking the phones. So a lot that needs to be worked out, but at least a decision has been made. Thanks so much, Kelly.